In the heart of Italy's fashion capital, a battlefield is divided by ideology, by name, and even by birthplace. This is the Derby della Madonnina. But this is not just a neighbourhood rivalry. This is the most bitter divorce in football history. A split that happened over a century ago, creating two clubs born from the same womb, yet with different blood and philosophies. Did you know AC Milan was founded by an Englishman, while Inter Milan was born from a rebellion? We will dissect the war of Catenaccio versus total football, the eternal feud between the Moratti and Berlusconi dynasties, and how one club was forced to watch its sibling claim European glory from behind the bars of scandal. Prepare yourself. This is the dark history and ideology behind the Milan Derby. It all started with one name, Milan Cricket and Football Club, founded in 1899 by English immigrants. They were the original Milan. Their colours? Red and black, the symbols of the devil, rossoneri, and a passionate fire. But the rift didn't take long. The new club was established, but a huge dispute arose. Should the club only feature Italian players, or should it be open to all nations? In 1908, a group of members, including some founders, rebelled. They wanted a truly international club. They chose divorce. They created a new club, Football Club Internazionale Milano. Their colours? Blue and black. Their motto? We are brothers of the world. Milan, AC, became the symbol of Italian roots and the traditional working class. Inter became the symbol of the cosmopolitan and more open bourgeoisie. Since that day, two clubs, two ideologies stood in the same city. After the Second World War, this rivalry transformed into the most epic tactical competition in Europe. AC Milan found Nereo Rocco, the true pioneer of Catenaccio. Football that was efficient, defensive, and based on the counter-attack. Milan won their first European Cup in 1963. But Inter retaliated. They hired Helenio Herrera, known as Il Mago, the magician. Herrera took Catenaccio, added speed, high pressing, and created the Grande Inter. This was an incredible philosophical rivalry, the strict and controlling Herrera against the pragmatic and charismatic Rocco. Throughout the 60s, both clubs dominated Europe, sharing a total of 4 European Cups. They competed over who was better at locking down defence than destroying opponents with lightning-fast counter-attacks. The rivalry wasn't just on the pitch, but in the dressing rooms too. The players hated each other, but had to share the stage in the Italian national team. This was their golden era, a decade when Milan was the centre of the football world. In 1986, AC Milan was bought by an ambitious businessman, Silvio Berlusconi. He transformed Milan into a machine of glamour, signed the Dutch trio Gullit, Rijkaard, Van Basten, and won everything. On the other side, Inter was experiencing a drought. However, in 1995, the son of a Grande Inter founder, Massimo Moratti, returned to take over the club. This was a personal war, a war between the dreamer Moratti, obsessed with Inter, against the politician Berlusconi, who used Milan as a branding tool. Moratti spent limitless money buying Ronaldo, Il Fenomeno, Vieri, Baggio. But Milan was always one step ahead. Transfer controversy, Ronaldo. After a severe injury at Inter, Ronaldo moved to Real Madrid. However, in 2007, he returned to Milan, a betrayal that pierced the hearts of the Interisti. The iconic moment, the 2003 Champions League final. The two Milan teams met in the semi-finals. Milan won, advanced and eventually became champions. Inter had to watch their rivals celebrate the most prestigious title from home. It wasn't just a loss, it was an emotional punishment. In 2006, Italy was shaken by the Calciopoli scandal. Juventus, Lazio and Milan were penalised. But for Inter, this was a golden opportunity sent from heaven. They, the only giant club not seriously implicated, suddenly received a Scudetto by decree and became dominant in Serie A. A dark period for Milan and a bright period for Inter. The peak? 2010. Under Jose Mourinho, Inter won the treble, Champions League, Serie A, Coppa Italia. Inter finally stood equal to Milan's history. This was Moratti's perfect revenge for 2 decades of Berlusconi's dominance. However, the glory did not last long. Berlusconi and Moratti, the last 2 Italian dynasties, slowly left the clubs. Both were sold to foreign investors, an ironic ending for 2 clubs born from a debate over who should play, Italian or Internazionale. The Milan Derby now has a new face, where owners from China, America and the Middle East compete for the Italian crown. Although Inter and Milan have both changed ownership and gone through difficult times, the ideological rivalry remains alive. They must compete again for the Scudetto and meet once more in the Champions League. San Siro, the stadium they share, trembles again. The rivalry never dies, it just waits to be reignited. This rivalry is a reflection of Italian history, the division between traditionalists and cosmopolitans. Inter is the fire of rebellion. Milan is the organised pride. In your opinion, which era was the greatest? Moratti versus Berlusconi or Rocco versus Herrera? Write your most passionate thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this deep analysis of football history, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in the next epic tale.